Okay, next I just wanted to cover some additional things that you might want to buy for your plane. I know a lot of guys up front, they're putting in their order for the plane and they want to get everything together that they might need besides the plane. So you always want to, first of all, you want to check which version of the plane that you've bought, depending on if you buy the ready to fly, the almost ready to fly, or the kit, you may not get all of the pieces, so you want to first check that. But assuming you've done that, I'm going to just review some additional accessories that you might want to pick up. First of all, I would suggest is getting an extra battery. This is a 2200 milliamp hour 3-cell battery, Turnigy battery. This is one that I think works pretty well on the plane. I've also flown as low as a 1300 milliamp hour 3-cell battery in the plane. It really just depends on your preference, but you might want to get an extra battery. The next thing I would get is, I mentioned this already about replacing the propeller. I haven't really found that the propeller is breaking a lot because the propeller on the plane is safely behind or safely in the middle of the plane, so you don't really have to worry too much about it breaking. But I would definitely replace the stock propeller with a 6x4E propeller, and these things are pretty cheap. You probably aren't going to need more than one or two for your plane. This is a Servo. This is an HXT 900 9-gram Servo. These things are pretty inexpensive. I would get 4 of these to have as spares for your plane, because the stock servos eventually they will go bad, or they may go bad, I should say. But it's nice to have them on hand because they're not really that expensive, and I wouldn't go and replace them up front. You can just replace them as they fail, but it's nice to have these on hand. Then the other thing are your control horns. You'll see that you'll notice that they have a tendency to break when you crash your plane. You can see mine have broken here near the edge. So it would be nice to maybe have some extra ones on hand when they do break. The other thing you can do, and I've started doing this rather than buy them, you can make your own out of hard plastic. You can take some hard plastic, or like even a credit card. Some guys do that. They'll cut out one out of a credit card in about that shape. They'll cut a slit in the foam, and then they'll push this control rod, that control horn down into the slit, and then you instantly have a control horn. So that works too, but I just wanted to point this out because these things do break pretty easily. Then the other thing that you might want to add to it, and this is purely optional, this is just something that I did, but I thought it was kind of neat for a beginner like me when I was starting out, was I added a gyro. Basically what happens is this gyro is connected to my ailerons, and when the plane starts to roll one way or the other, it will counter that roll. And I'll show you that in a second. But I got this Esky Gyro off of eBay. I think it was $12 to $15, and it's pretty simple. It just sits between your aileron servos and your receiver. It just plugs right in. It's pretty simple. I mean, a dummy could do it. So it was really easy to install, and then you can see that I glued it right here underneath where the canopy was. Just glued it in there, and I made sure it was straight. You want to make sure it's level, and that was it. So it was kind of neat. Now I'll show you how that works. Okay, let's look how that gyro works. So I'm going to just shake the plane. I'm going to do some rolling to simulate maybe some turbulence, and you'll notice how the gyro kind of compensates. And it's pretty neat. Pretty neat how that works, and you know, like I said, that it's pretty easy to install. You know, you just buy that gyro and hook it in there, and there's nothing else that you have to buy to use that. Now the last thing that you want to do after you have everything in the plane, including the battery, is you want to balance the plane. You want to have the CG just right, and it's important to do this so that the plane flies nice and level, flies better. Now the CG for this plane will vary depending upon the model that you have. If you have a Sky Surfer version 1, one of the originals, or you have the Bixler plane, the CG tends to be closer to 60 millimeters. If you have a Sky Surfer version 2, that's the one that has the pilot in the canopy, the CG is closer to 70 millimeters. But I would recommend that you check RC groups just to double check on the CG and make sure that you have it correct. Now what that means is, when I say 60 or 70 millimeters, is you want to measure from the leading edge of the wing to the CG point, and the plane should be balanced on that. Let's take a closer look at that. Okay, so if you want to say your CG that you're trying to get is 60 millimeters, what you're going to do is you're going to balance the plane on a balancer, and you can make your own balancer if you want. Some people even just use their 2 fingers, and there's instructions online on how you can do this, but you basically measure from this point where you're balancing here to the leading edge of the wing, and that should be your 60 millimeters or whatever your CG is. And if the plane is balanced properly, you'll notice that it's fairly level when you look at it. Well, my name's Mike, and I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Hope you got some good tips on how to improve your Bixler or your Sky Surfer plane. It's been fun making the video. I've learned a lot, and I suggest you guys check out the RC Groups forum, because there are a lot of great tips out there and new things that you can learn about your plane. And if you ever have any questions too, I suggest you post them out there. There's a lot of great guys who are willing to help you. And that's about it. Happy flying, guys. Bye.